moms. We want the moms here and dad. Cool. Just real quick, I won't bore you guys with this, but real quick, Amy and I are exercise coaches, and we are holistic lifestyle coaches. We are trained by an organization called the Czech Institute in California. We are the only two people in Michigan that are both trained in nutrition and stress management and exercise. We don't believe that you can separate the two. And that's a big importance. And when we talked, Tammy came and we talked a few weeks ago, and we talked about conditioning of the athletes that are at the upper levels, right? The gymnasts, you guys, the athletes, at the upper levels. And we talked about making sure that they're free of injury, and that they're feeling good, and that they're really focused, and that they're ready to go. And I said, we got to start with what they're eating if we want to do that. We can do that. We got to start with what they're eating. And we said, well, we want to take that all the way through the team. We want to talk to everybody about what they're eating. And this is really, really important. It's not, I can't put enough emphasis on how important what you're eating is to how you feel and how you think and how you look and what you're able to do. And I'm going to try to explain that to you in pretty simple terms. To put it, just one more high-level thing, our central mentor, Mr. Czech, just spoke at a conference of the strength and conditioning coaches from all over the world. And he was speaking for the coaches of people like the Dallas Cowboys and the Olympic team and the Michigan football program. I mean, he was speaking to the strength and conditioning coaches of the best athletes. And his presentation for the day was that all performance begins and ends in your mouth. And he talked about nutrition with those coaches for the whole day, and he told them that any attempts to separate their exercise and their conditioning from what their athletes was eating was false, and it wouldn't work. So not only are they not capable of doing what they want to do, you can't train them to do what you want the athlete to do if they're not eating the right foods. Okay? So I can't put enough importance on this, but it's the same for your performance in school, or the same for your performance of a musical instrument, or anything else that you might be into in gymnastics. And obviously you're all really into gymnastics, and that's cool. We are too. So does that make sense to everybody? That's where we're coming from. Okay? So there's a couple things that we need to understand about that. And the first one is we need to make a connection between food and fuel. You guys know when you gotta put gas in the car? You guys know what happens if you don't put gas in the car?
It runs out.
It runs out and it doesn't work, right? Well, food is fuel for the body. And food is the only fuel for the body. So what we're choosing to eat and what we're choosing to drink is the only fuel with which we can run on. So if we're not eating good quality stuff and drinking good quality stuff, and we're not doing that steadily throughout the day, we won't function well. And you won't feel good, you won't be strong, you won't be as fast as you should be. Putting a donut down your neck is like putting a donut in the gas tank of the car. It doesn't work for the car, it doesn't work for you either. Okay? It's a fun treat sometimes, and that's okay to have a fun treat sometimes, but on a steady basis, it doesn't work well. Okay? We won't feel good, we won't be healthy, we won't be strong, and we won't be able to think straight. Okay? And when we talk about performance, we don't just talk about the physical body in terms of muscles and being strong or being fast. We also talk about the physical body in preventing injury. We don't want pain. Right? And we also talk about the brain function. Can you focus? Can you think clearly? Can you think quickly? Do you feel good concentration? Like if you ever try to read something and you keep nodding off, falling asleep when you're trying to read? Right? You had that? Right? That's a great example of when we're not fueled correctly and we're trying to focus and we're trying to read and we can't keep our eyes open. That's a great example of a time when you weren't didn't have the right fuel. Okay? So mental focus is very real. The other piece that we can't separate is our emotions. And our emotions are also very closely tied. Our feelings, right? Are we happy? Are we sad? Are we really high strung? Are we feeling kind of down? That is also very much tied to what we're eating and when we're eating. It becomes more and more important, moms, just real quick, as these girls move up in age and they move up in the level of the dynamic things that they're doing, that's going to become ever more important, that we create a very stable hormonal environment. It makes a happier house, right? For sure, but it also makes happier coaches, because right, it's not just attitude, but especially with female athletes, maintaining a steady hormonal balance is a big issue. And we have a lot of elite athletes in the high school and college level, female athletes. Injuries are staggeringly higher, and particularly the low body, the pelvis, the knees, the low back, staggeringly higher injuries than male athletes. And we can go a long way to stabilize that and prevent those injuries with what we're eating. It's very, very important. Okay? So we can bring a lot of stability to our mental capacity and to our performance, what we're eating. So, one, food is fuel. Okay? We need to know that's true and be aware of that when we're choosing what we're going to eat.